All right, team. What I'm showing you tonight is the reserve blue collar loot run. I call it a blue collar run because, while it doesn't have any real big jackpot items like Ludexes, it has a lot of good, solid, sellable loot that always holds value, and some stuff that's good for doing some crafting and some hideout building. Um, what you'll need for this, it is on reserve. It does use the cliff extract, so you will need the Red Rider ice pick. So it has a little bit of investment. It's about 2.7 million, but you will make that back in a few runs on this. Um, Other than that, you can go in with basically just a big backpack. I like the mechanism. I do suggest taking a pistol. You can get away with hatchling with this, but I do suggest a pistol. It gives you a chance and an engagement to if you do happen across another pistoling or a player doing loot running, which is pretty popular on this map. Also, do suggest the ray benches, balaclava, just because we're pistol running for loot doesn't mean we can't look good doing it. So here we go. I am going to do this offline just so we can do it nice and quick. But another reason I like this loot run quite a bit is it very, very, very low danger. I have uh, about an 85% survival rate on this, and that's sort of just depending on getting bad spawns and running into players. I am almost never run into scavs on my way to the main route, and once I'm in the main route, I've never once run into another player on it, so it's definitely not a very popular route. Again, that's probably because it doesn't, again, really have any super high value items, um, but you will get some pretty decent military loot occasionally, like the SG-10 transmitters, some military cable, the military circuit boards, and some things like that. Um, at the end of the run, I will show you um, in my stash what I got from my last live run of this, so you can get an idea of what a typical run looks like loot-wise. But for this, I'm just going to run through and show you all the spawns, so you know where to look. It can take a little bit of running it to see where the spawns are, because some of them some of the loot spawns are a little bit random. So you have to kind of learn where they are, which is why I wanted to show this in a video, because if you don't know where a couple of the spawns are, you can miss some pretty good loot. So like I said, I average about an 85% survival rate on the run. It's very safe. It's very reliable. I get on average never lower than 300,000 rubles in loot. Usually closer to 350 to 400 if I get a little bit of luck in some of the military spawns. All right. All right, and we actually got a really good spawn for showing this off. Okay, so the loot run is from the basement area of the White Pawn building, which is right there, and it goes underground to the underground area of the dome, and then we'll come up and take the cliff extract over there. So we got a really nice spawn for this. If you get a really bad spawn across the map, the tank areas, the bunker areas, what I suggest is basically hugging the edge of the map and running around, and then just getting to the White Pawn building as fast as possible. Um, Even getting bad spawns, I can typically get over here without running into a player. Like I said, I've done probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 of these runs in the last couple weeks, and I've only died 4 or 5 times. So here we are in the White Pawn building. The sign's on the front. I typically come in either in these side areas. Um, there's a duffel bag right there. I always check in here. These shells spawn tools, most of which aren't very valuable, but you do want to look for the metal cutting scissors, which are used in the craft to make the mag cases, which are worth 300,000. And then I just go straight down into this basement area. Go into this room. Again, more. Yep. See, there's metal cutting scissors right here on the shelf. Again, those used for that craft to make the mag cases, which sell very well. More tools. And again, I'm typically grabbing everything because I just run these big backpacks. I will typically run a really big chest rig, and I grab everything just because of the good. It gives you looting experience, and might as well just vendor it. Everything, everything adds up. So coming into this room, always check on top of this box and on the ground around it because it spawns ammo. And I run into a lot of, as you can see right here, a lot of BS and BT ammo. I've actually built up a pretty good stockpile of BT and BS ammo, which is pretty good ammo for free. Or you can, if you're not running those guns, you can obviously just sell it off, and it always is going to sell pretty well. If you run over here on top of these boxes, there are weapon mod spawns and more ammo spawns. So always good to check those. Running out here, on top of this right here, you'll get more ammo and food and water spawns. Coming in here on top of this box in these shelves, more tool spawns, food and water spawns there, ammo spawns there. Coming through here, as you can see, there's ammo. I get S and B. Oh, there's sugar. So yeah, food there and ammo there. Coming through this room, there are 2 duffels. On top of this locker by this light, there's a food spawn. I get a lot of MREs there, which always typically are selling for at least 20k. Come through here, go to the right, get more ammo, more tool spawns. Coming through here, yep, there's more BT ammo. Ammo spawns on top of here. Once you get in through here, you're just going to go into this door. And we're just heading straight into the underground. And once I'm at this point, I've never once in 30, 40 runs seen a single PMC. So if you want to start just sprinting through at this point, you can. I've never seen another player once. There's a toolbox here. There on the ground, I've seen ammo and food. On top of this box, yep, more ammo. Yep, there's a bandage. So there's med spawn there. There is a weapons crate, weapon box spawn right here. There on the ground, I've seen, it's another kind of miscellaneous spawn, ammo, weapon mods, food and water. Top of this box, there's a bandage. I've also seen food spawn there, sugar spawn, that kind of thing. Top of this box is more ammo I've seen, also food. Down in here, on top of this broken box, there's just kind of random stuff. You see there's cigarettes there. These strikes are good. They're a barter for good Val ammo. I learned about that barter from Unethical. And we're just going to run down. And in here. This is another reason also I suggest taking a pistol with a light on it because it's pretty dark down here and it helps you look for loot. This broken box spawns just again all kinds of stuff, med spawns, saluas, bandages, ammo, food and water. It's just another one of those kind of miscellaneous spawns. On top of this barrel, food and water, sugar, ammo. It spawns all sorts of random stuff. Coming through here, you want to look very carefully down through this red grading area because it has good industrial spawns. As you can see, there's some tubing that's good for crafts, and I think it sells kind of okay. What you'll see down in here a lot of the time, you'll see things like corrugated hoses, motors, which it's like 12k per slot value. You'll find expeditionary fuel, which is really good to get. Just all of those kinds of things. And then there's another one of those spawns right here that you want to look out for. I think there's another one over here that I see. It's a little more rare, but you want to check it while you come through. I'm just going to run through here. Go in the left, and here you want to check on the ground. You'll find lots of things like relays. They spawn right here too. I've also seen military circuit boards, wires, things like that. This dolly spawns relays, fuel, just industrial things. Coming through here, same thing. Fuel, motor, relays. I find relays all through this underground area. And they're selling for like 30, 40k a piece right now. So it's a good run if you need them or just want to find them to sell. Coming down into this room, check the floor. It spawns stuff, and I've almost missed it before. On this table, you'll find LCDs, again, relays, power cables, which are good for crafting wires, which sell really well. Coming into this room, always check this green metal. It spawns military loot. It's not common. I've only had it spawn a few times, but it's spawned those AESs, those SU-10 transmitters, all those things that sell, 100, 200K. There's a duffel. There are 2 jackets, which always good to check. Get some good RNG with keys, things like that. All right, running up here, you always want to check all these server racks. They have low spawn chances in my experience, but they will spawn good, the good stuff like you'll see in the what's that? The White Knight building that the Pestille run shows off, where you'll get really good military loot, graphics cards, and things like that. In here and on this table, you'll again find things like relays. Coming in this room, again, you want to check these. Over on one of these desks, I find intelligence spawns occasionally. There's a PC block there. There are 2 filing cabinets here. There's a safe there. You want to check over here again. You want to check on these little metal shelves. I find relays, power cables, wiring, things like that. There's another toolbox right here in this little alcove. There's more of those shelves. Coming out here, more of those, and there's another toolbox. This right here on this green thing, I find relays, things like that. And I'm gonna lag. Coming across more of these things, more of these, and yet another toolbox. So one of the reasons this run is really nice, it's a lot of like medium tier loot. It's not a lot of high loot, but you just get a bulk of solid loot that you can flea market or craft with. On top of this spool and on top of this desk, there's an intelligence spawn right there. There you go. That's 50K. There's another toolbox. You just hit those toolboxes. You get those bolts, things that sell well, or you can craft with. All through this room, like on the floor, on these grates, on these boxes, you just want to be checking in these broken boxes. There's just tons of these little spawns all over this room that will give you relays, wiring. Over here on the floor, on those boxes, over here on the floor, you just want to check all those. They all have spawn chances. And we're just proceeding through. Here on this dolly, you'll find fuel spawns. Right here on the floor and up here on the floor, where I just shot with no ammo, there are industrial spawns, light bulbs, tubing, corrugated hoses, things like that. There's a wooden weapons box here. Coming in here, there's a duffel there. There's a food and water spawn there. You can see there's some Vita juice. Bathroom, there's soap in there occasionally. Who cares? This room almost never has anything in it. It has 1 item spawn though, right there. Oh, yep, there we go. There's a relay. Again, those sell pretty well. Coming in here, on top of this blue locker that's on its side, yep, here we go. There are actually 2 military spawns on here. One right there, and one right here, obviously. And here we go. Here's an SG-10. These sell, I think they're like 120K right now. On top of these boxes here, there's weapon mod spawns, mag spawns, ammo spawns. Just right there. This box has 2 spawns in it. It spawns ammo. There's another duffel right there. And that is it for down in here. We're going to go ahead and sprint up. Okay, there's another toolbox. There's a good industrial spawn on top of these bags of concrete or whatever this is. So you can see here some tubing. I find, corrugated hoses. I find Plex here actually pretty often. A little note on that though. For some reason, the way it renders right here, the Plex is almost invisible. You can sort of barely see it. So you want to like kind of really take a look there. I know Plex is a barter for a high-end face shield. I learned that from Unethical, so you want to keep an eye out for that. Over in here, there's this little spawn for industrial items. I find insulated tape here quite a bit. I'm gonna run through here. Here on the ground is another little industrial spawn. All right. This is basically the most dangerous part of the run, except for the spawn in. And this is where you have to kind of make a little decision on how you want to run it or end the run. If the run's been a little light, and if once you run up here, you're not really hearing any shots like sniper shots from the dome area, and you're feeling a little bold, and you pop the door open and you see that that door on that building is still closed and probably this hasn't been looted, you can go ahead and run over here. There's 2 more filing cabinets, a safe, a PC block, a weapons locker. Um, I I'm not sure if I've ever actually seen weapons spawn in there, so I'm not sure if it's even worth checking. But you can go for it. Hit the filing cabinets, get that search up. Find some decent stuff, and then we are just running to extract, which is, if you're not familiar, it's right here. I just kind of crouch behind this tree, puts me between me and any snipers that might be up there. Oh, and I didn't bring my paracord. Great. Anyway, so yeah, you do need the paracord, and you do need the Red Rider to use this extract. So we'll just go ahead and leave. And then real quick, in my stash here, I will show you what I hauled from my last run doing this live. So you can just kind of get a general idea of what yeah, what a kind of typical run will look like. Tarkov gonna Tarkov. Come on. Nikita, please. And as a side note, you will get around 1500 XP per run, which you run through it. You can do this in like 12, 15 minutes. It's not like god awful XP, especially early on. Come on, game. All right. So this is what I hauled from my last run of doing this. As you can see, this is why I kind of call it the blue collar run. It's mid tier, low tier loot, but it's a lot of stuff that you can craft with or that sells individually well. This fuel, those scissors, those are good. You run those through your hideout and then you craft. Again, you'll see a lot of these relays, which are selling right now for 30, 32, 34K a piece. Um, Helix's light bulbs, these ES lamps, which are a good barter, Gold Skull, there's a Plex, these strikes, which are a good ammo barter, these T-plugs, which are, people overlook them, but they're a craft to make power cords, which then you can turn into these 8 of these wires at a time, which are selling for anywhere from 13 to 19K a piece. Bolts, which are good to sell, good to craft. Um, Light bulbs, which are good to sell by themselves. Rechargeable batteries, you get those from all those filing cabinets. There's an SG10, which we just saw ourselves. These Apollos, which you can barter for free 74 ends if you run those. There's a pack of nails, which still sell pretty decent. Yeah, so you just, again, you run these, you do this in like 12 minutes. You basically will never die doing, almost never die doing it. Cricket nets. You'll find a lot of these lighters and Zippos, which you can then craft into, or yeah, craft and barter into these expeditionary fuel cases. So you'll never be out of fuel, and you'll be constantly crafting those 300,000 ruble mag cases to sell. So basically, this is a super reliable, never going to die run. You basically can't go broke ever again in the game doing this, and it lets you basically never have gear fear because you do one or two of these every night just to warm up, and you'll basically just have a cool million or so. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching.